Do you know how North Korea obtained nuclear weapons? Currently, there are 9 countries in the world that possess nuclear weapons, the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council, as well as Israel, North Korea, India, and Pakistan. Among them, North Korea stands out as the most unique. Today, let's talk a booth development, history of North Korea's nuclear weapons. On the surface, North Korea appears to be isolated, with a weak economy and industrial system, seemingly having nothing to do with nuclear weapons. However, none of this dampened this East Asian country's ambition to become a major power. After the U.S. successfully tested its first nuclear weapon in 1945, a new standard was added to the definition of a great power: possessing nuclear weapons. After witnessing the power of atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, nuclear weapons became the ultimate goal of a country divided for half a century in suffering. From an extreme lack of security, especially after the Korean War broke out, under the shadow of U.S. nuclear threats, North Korea's determination to possess nuclear weapons became even stronger. Although North Korea was extremely lacking in resources, its territory was rich in natural uranium, another necessary material for making nuclear weapons. Graphite was also abundant. Therefore, after the signing of the Korean Armistice Agreement in 1953, Yongbyoung began North Korea's nuclear development program, of course. Developing nuclear weapons was not as simple as imagined. After the Korean War, much of North Korea was bombed into ruins by U.S. forces. There was no funding to support such a massive project. Moreover, the population was reduced to just over 10 million, with an extreme shortage of talent, from the perspectives of human resources, capital, and technology. North Korea was powerless. At that time, North Korea turned to its big brother, the Soviet Union, as a nuclear power competing with the U.S. if North Korea could gain Soviet assistance. Now, all of its technical difficulties could be resolved. In 1955, 1 year after the end of the Korean War, North Korea established its first nuclear physics research institute in its capital, Pyongyang. That same year, Yongbyoung sent a delegation to the USSR and successfully signed an agreement to establish a joint nuclear research institute. From then on, Soviet technicians began pouring into North Korea, bringing a large amount of nuclear equipment and blueprints, allowing North Korea's nuclear program to take a crucial first step. In 1959, the Soviet Union and North Korea signed an agreement on the peaceful use of atomic energy and began providing substantial aid, such as building the Yongbyon Nuclear Research Center and a light water reactor project. At this stage, the Soviet Union did not intend to help North Korea develop nuclear weapons. North Korea realized this and began sending large numbers of students to study nuclear physics in the USSR. Among them was the father of North Korea's nuclear program, Su Xiangguo. In addition, North Korea established domestic training bases for nuclear talent, laying a solid foundation for future development. By 1985, North Korea's nuclear program had begun to take shape. They even acquired MiG-29 fighter jets from Gorbachev, which are capable of delivering nuclear bombs. However, in the 1990s, the international situation turned increasingly unfavorable for North Korea. In 1990, Eastern Europe underwent major changes. The Soviet Union suddenly established diplomatic relations with South Korea. And 1 year later, the Soviet Union collapsed into 15 independent countries. After the Soviet collapse, North Korea acted quickly, contacting former Soviet nuclear scientists through various channels, inviting them with high salaries to help develop nuclear technology, taking advantage of global chaos. It acquired nuclear technology through both overt and covert means. At that time, North Korea also reached out to Pakistan, inviting Abdul Qadir Khan, father of Pakistan's nuclear program, to North Korea. Finally, in the early 21st century, after half a century of effort, North Korea successfully carried out a nuclear test, becoming the 9th nuclear-armed country in the world, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to watch the latest videos. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.